We really appreciate everybody joining this webinar today on Oracle Fusion Cloud Analytics with a specific focus on the services industry. I'm Ken Baker. I'm the Oracle Alliance Director for Apps Associates. And like I said, I'm very excited about the presentation today. And as we get started, there's just a few housekeeping items I wanted to mention. This webinar is being recorded. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to answer them as we go along or at the end. The presentation, we're going to try to do it in about 45 minutes. So we've got some time at the end for some Q&A. And I think everybody that joined today, you're on mute, but just try to keep your audio on mute just so there's no background noise. But I'm also joined today by Miles Gilsonen. He's our Vice President of Data Analytics and AI at Apps Associates. And then Matt Garibaldi, who's the Product Strategy Lead for Oracle and heavily focused on the Fusion Analytics product. As far as the agenda, we're going to give a really brief overview on who is Apps Associates and what we're doing, and our focus on the FA product, and also our other offerings within Oracle. Also, the trends and why analytics is so important in the service industry. I'm going to cover that. And then just give a really brief overview of Fusion Analytics. How can it be extended, meaning other data elements that can be brought into Fusion Analytics? And then what are the true benefits around that? And kind of to segue that, there's going to be a customer success stories, about 3 of those. So we've seen definitely good ROI and definitely huge benefits in some of the customers we've implemented this product for. And then also a demo of Fusion Analytics and really showing its value across the Oracle product suite. And then also we have Apps Associate has we call it a quick start offering. And we're going to have an overview of that, which is really a way the product can get stood up and kind of what it includes and the overall cost for that. And then kind of as a segue to that, also how do you engage Oracle and apps, any kind of future interest in the product. So, and then at the end, like I mentioned, we're going to have some Q&A as well too. So Miles, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you get started.
Okay, thank you, Ken. So quick intro. My name is Miles Gilson. I'm Vice President of Data Analytics and AI at Apps Associates. I've been working with Oracle Analytics, designing and implementing it for about the past 15 years, and Fusion Analytics since it came out several years ago, and it's my pleasure to be speaking with you today. So quickly, who's Apps Associates? So we were founded in about 2002, a little over 20 years ago, by 2 folks from Oracle Consulting, actually. We've now got locations in North America, Europe, and Asia, recognized as a Oracle to Cloud leader. Very happy about our 345 active clients, many of them long tenured. We tend to have long relationships with our clients, about 1,400 employees. If you look at our firm, we have 6 service lines. So we have an advisory services where we'll help people think through what they should do from an analytics standpoint, from an application implementation standpoint. We have a business applications practice that will implement Oracle Cloud ERP, HCM, SCM, business integrations to put all the integrations together, data analytics and AI, of course, I'm leading that. We have cloud services. We can help companies move from, let's say, EBS on-prem into the cloud, and then managed services. We can manage your applications. We can manage your infrastructure. The data and analytics practice has about 125 people, 25 onshore, 100 offshore. The people onshore, the average tenure is about 12 to 13 years. And those people with 12 and 13 years, they've been doing Oracle Analytics the whole time. About 100 offshore, they're all employees. We've got a great management team there. We do both strategy and implementation. We do end-to-end implementations. We're very proud of that. Everything from sourcing your data, building your pipelines, doing the modeling and the visualization. Deep Oracle Analytics expertise. We also have a good mixture of business domain and data knowledge along with that technical expertise. We can speak to your end users and help you through your analytics journey. We are aligned with a variety of industries, including the services industry. And where it makes sense, we have pre-built solutions and pre-built extensions. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Matt from Oracle.
Thanks, Miles, and thanks, Ken, and thanks everybody for taking time out of their days to join us here for the Fusion Analytics webinar. And just by way of introduction, my name is Matt Garibaldi, the Product Strategy Lead for Fusion Analytics, which is our pre-built analytics suite of products designed for Oracle Cloud applications. And today's theme today is really around the services industries and some of the common trends that we're seeing across the board, from financial services to professional services, energy and utilities. And when we talk about trends that we see that are common across all these types of micro industries, the first that comes to mind is really digital disruption. And it might not be unique to the services industry in general, but it does have high impacts around all service-based companies, whether it's back office transformation or delivering new services through a digital format. Digital disruption has been highly relevant in the services industries today. Number two is around people. I think this is obvious within service-based companies. People oftentimes are the products, like if you're a professional services company, and often the core part of strategy for service-based companies across the globe. And number three is client engagements, staying competitive with your innovations, delivering new services in a highly competitive market. Client engagement's been top of mind throughout all service-based industries. So there's a lot of common trends again throughout all the financial services, professional services across the board, but these are really the three common ones we're seeing across all service-based industries. And if you dig a little bit deeper into each three categories, starting with digital disruption, we're seeing everything from a challenges perspective, starting with lacking agility to keep pace with changing regulations in financial services, information silos from mergers and acquisitions, siloed operating models, creating a lack of business agility, stifling innovation in energy and utilities, disconnected legacy silo systems, and really just outdated systems in general. I think this is common again across a lot of industries, but digital disruption is becoming a very prevalent topic in reshaping the services industries. And going into people, when it comes to people, you have high turnover amongst young talents who want upskilling and really less manual work in the financial services industries. People coming out of college expecting that type of automation and wanting to be challenged in their job, really attracting and retaining that generational type talent for the future, finding replacement for aging workforces across energy and utilities and transportation and logistics, and retaining frontline retail and field technicians in a post-pandemic world and communication. So people challenges, again, highly prevalent, something that analytics can really help overcome some of these challenges. And then finally, when it comes to client engagement, you see the lack of integration across financial services, preventing personalized services for clientele, delivering increased value faster and providing a clear ROI through professional services, limited insights, preventing managing customer preferences and building out new business models in energy and utilities, adapting to changing requirements and deciding how we're going to serve customers in the transportation and logistics industry. And then finally, facing fierce competition in communications, really increased customer churn due to a lack of data intelligence. So across the board of those three categories, you're seeing these types of challenges across the services companies in general. And I think when it comes to analytics plays a high importance in overcoming some of these challenges. And Miles, I don't know if you have your perspective on how analytics can really be of importance to service-based industries in the market today, but you want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Sure. Thank you, Matt. These days, we all know data and analytics is important to pretty much every industry, but it's hard to pick an industry where it's more important than the services-based industry. Because even though there is a product, it's oftentimes not a project that's particularly tangible. It's not like going out and buying an iPhone and maybe you'll overlook bad service, although that's not the case with Apple. But take financial services, professional services, transportation. It's different. And the services industry really needs to differentiate itself through the way that it interacts with the customer and the innovation of the products and the personalization of the products. So the competitive differentiation is absolutely data-driven. Sure, it's a cliche by now, the data-driven aspect of it, but it really is true in the services industry. And if you look at the kind of customer insights, and we've all experienced this whether it's with our brokerage firm or airlines. You know, we're going to go where there is great customer experience with personalization. You know, they kind of know me. So that's a great differentiator. And risk management, probably don't need to say anything about that. If I don't know if people were around in, 2008, but the financial services, but not just financial services, really all industries are subject to more risk and compliance these days. Marketing and advertising, again, almost goes without saying. If anyone has consumed anything from the services industry, it just gets better and better in terms of, the marketing and the advertising. If you do a Google search for camping equipment, you're probably going to get an advertisement for voyages and trips into nature. Flights and hotels and all the rest of it, and accelerated innovation. And this one is really, really key because, as I said, you want to differentiate yourselves, you want to gain market share, you don't want to lose market share, and the innovation aspect of the service comes into play. And it really is across the board. Every industry that Matt talked about, whether it's transportation, professional services, communications, we've all seen tremendous innovation. And now that the AI revolution has kind of gained steam with generative AI, it's kind of a whole new push, you're going to see the pace of innovation change, and analytics is very much a part of that. And frankly, if you don't have a handle on data and analytics, it's hard to compete in the service-based industries. Okay, I'm going to hand it back to Matt to talk about, what is Fusion Analytics about in terms of why would folks use analytics?
Yeah, and just from a high level, what Fusion Analytics is, and this goes back to all the challenges we just covered across the services industries, and how we're seeing a lot of customers that are part of our Fusion Analytics community really address those challenges through analytics. And just from a high level, what Fusion Analytics is, it's our pre-built suites of analytic applications specifically designed for our Oracle Cloud application products. It's extensible to other data sources. It comes with a full use Oracle Analytics Cloud and full use autonomous data warehouse instance to bring in other data sources, and has been in the market for about 4 years since we made the announcement at Cloud World. And it's truly been probably my favorite part of this job, is to see how much value this has added to our cloud application customer base. And it's truly because it's pre-built and ready to go across the board. It's unified and cross-functional in nature, and it's really intuitively personalized for the end user experience. I think the main reasons why our customers are going down the Fusion Analytics path in the first place, there's really 3 main reasons that I've seen over the years. And the first is around historical analysis. So when it comes to, quarter over quarter, year over year type of analysis and identifying trends in the past to predict the future, those types of use cases are very difficult to do within a transactional nature and transactional intelligence that are included in our cloud applications. And that's really what Fusion Analytics is designed to accomplish, is those use cases that might require a lot of historical data. And number 2 is cross-departmental use cases. So let's say you have finance and HR use case, like profit per employee, or you want to bring in data from Salesforce for revenue intelligence. Those cross-functional and departmental use cases that you can do based on that specific one singular module, Fusion Analytics can accomplish throughout all different types of departmental use cases. And finally is around advanced analytics, machine learning, AI, all of the capabilities that you would see in an advanced analytic platform comes with Fusion Analytics. And that allows our customers to predict the future and apply machine learning to really cut down tasks and automate processes to save costs when it comes to labor and other areas. So those are really the 3 main reasons that I've seen. We see a lot of customers dumping to Excel and uploading into another data visualization tool with no really governance around the data. And that's why we came out with this product in the first place, was to solve that challenge. So those are the reasons why. And I think it ties to our product strategy as a whole. And I'll go to the next slide. So our strategy as a whole right now is really, again, to have that ready to use application suite across all of our cloud application products. In addition to having an open to build advanced platform, so Oracle Analytics Cloud comes with Fusion Analytics. It's a solution that's comparable to any data visualization tool in the marketplace, whether it's Tableau, Power BI, any data visualization solution. Oracle Analytics Cloud would be comparable to that. And when you combine that with the ready to use application suite on the left, you really get this powerful solution, holistic data platform that no other vendor can really offer in the marketplace, and why it's offering so much value to our customers. And finally, it's making AI available for everybody. It's obviously a hot topic across all markets today, is generative AI, and where we're including that in our products. So we have everything from 17 machine learning algorithms, pre-built machine learning use cases, again, to help you automate time so you're consuming the analytic process for decision making instead of manual tasks. And those are really the three components of our analytics strategy. And that's why we're seeing customers not only across services industries, but across the board. We're approaching 1,000 globally. And again, it's for those reasons I mentioned before. And so I won't harp on each customer on the screen here, but it's truly been an amazing journey, starting with 15 4 years ago, coming to the 1,000, up to the 1,000 mark. It just shows how much value the product's delivering to organizations and helping make people make decisions. And in order to do that, we do rely on partners like Apps Associates to address industry specific use cases, address high value business problems. And Miles, I think you were going to get into some of the capabilities that you guys see and what you're seeing with some of the clients that you've implemented with. But yeah, it's really, really important to have people like an Apps Associates and our partner network help deliver the value with the pre-built and extensibility that's included in Fusion Analytics.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. So Matt kind of gave you an overview of Fusion Analytics. I'm going to elaborate a bit and really get into some detail here so that you walk away feeling you know what Fusion Analytics is. So there's two things I want you to take away. Number one, pre-built analytics for Oracle Fusion Cloud applications. Now, that's probably obvious. Number two, Fusion Analytics is a platform for enterprise data and analytics development to create an enterprise data warehouse. That may not be as obvious, but as we go through and we talk about some of the customer success stories, I think you'll see that that's actually the case. So what is Fusion Analytics? So you should think of it as a bundled product. So think of it as a box, and inside that box are several things that you get with Fusion Analytics. So the first thing you get is a pre-built data pipeline from Oracle Cloud Applications into Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. And that's depicted by these dotted lines here. And in and of itself, that has tremendous value because you don't have to worry about that. Oracle will maintain that, upgrade it, enhance it. So that's a big burden off the shoulders. And we've seen that with a lot of clients. You also get a license to Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. That's Oracle's world-class cloud data warehouse, full-blown Oracle database optimized for reporting and analytics. And this is not a limited use license or a skinny down version or some kind of embedded data warehouse that you can only use with Oracle data. This is a full-blown instance of Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. Also in that Fusion Analytics box, you get a license to Oracle Analytics Cloud. That's Oracle's front-end reporting and analytics platform. And again, it's not a skinny down or limited use. It's a full-blown license. You can do anything in that Oracle Analytics Cloud that you can do with the Oracle Analytics Cloud that you might already be running. Then you get a pre-built shared data warehouse data model. That's at the database level. That's super important because that enables you to look across your organization, look across subject areas, finance, procurement, HR. You'll get a pre-built semantic model. That might not be a word you're familiar with. The semantic model is a logical layer that sits on top of the database tables. It's purely definitional. There's no data stored in your semantic model, but it's super important because it enables self-service. It puts a nice set of names, column names. It'll do the joins among tables that your end users won't know how to do. It'll automatically do that so they can have a nice end user experience. They can just drag and drop data elements and do whatever they want without having to worry about the underlying complexity of the data. So that semantic model is very important. 250 plus, and it just keeps growing. I can't even keep up with it. Free built, key performance indicators, reports, and dashboards, and of course the cross-domain analytics that I mentioned. So Fusion Analytics comes with a lot, and that's the first thing to note. And one of the things that we have seen with our clients is that Fusion Analytics enables them to move up the analytics maturity curve very quickly. They might have more or less nothing. They might have just a few data marts. Maybe they're downloading to Excel. Maybe they started an on-prem data warehouse 10 years ago and kind of used, kind of not used. But in one fell swoop, with the pre-built content of Fusion Analytics, they're able to move up the maturity curve fairly significantly. If you have Cloud ERP or Cloud SCM or Cloud HCM or Cloud Procurement right now, you already have OTBI, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. And that's a good application for what it's used for, which is real-time operational reporting against your application. The subject areas are provided by Oracle. You can't modify them. Not really for analytics, trends, historical data. And as you move up the curve, Fusion Analytics really checks all the boxes. First, you'll get the data foundation, that nice data model, all of those pre-built reports and dashboards, plus the ones that you'll customize. And as you move along, you can bring in third-party data sources. And in the most advanced use cases, if you wanted, for instance, to begin to create your own machine learning applications, or if you wanted to begin to bring in some unstructured data like PDFs, you can do that because you have access to the entire Oracle Cloud infrastructure. It's very exciting. So let's talk about these KPIs. I'm sure you're familiar with it, key performance indicator, as it's known. But this particular user interface is unique to Fusion Analytics. We really haven't seen this in any other of the reporting platforms. And this is where Oracle has said, I want to save you time. In the old days, you might look at the income statement. Okay, you'll look at net income. Okay, great. That's maybe one metric. But what about all the other metrics around my operation? What if I could look at those at a glance and then just drill in where I see variances or I see anomalies or I see we're well behind our forecast? What if I could do that quickly? And that's what the KPIs are all about. And every KPI comes with a target. So you'll have your actual, you have your target, and it comes with a visualization. And you can customize these. I say customize, it's all configuration. Maybe you don't want a bar chart. Maybe you want more of a trend. So you can go in and just, it's an end user type thing. You can customize it. If you want to make your own KPIs from scratch using the data model, you can do that. So we found that our customers really appreciate this kind of KPI interface. Once you get your data, once you've validated your data, this becomes very, 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 very powerful. All right, now let's talk about Fusion Analytics as an enterprise data and analytics platform, because I said it can be. So let's just explain how it works. On the left-hand side in red is everything that you get with Fusion Analytics that I've mentioned. You get that data pipeline, the data model, the semantic model, and the pre-built KPIs and reports. And that is owned and managed by Oracle, and it's continually enhanced. It's not static. It's not like in the old days when you purchased something and implemented it in your data center. This is constantly being upgraded with new content and new metrics. But then you can do whatever you want, this kind of greenish, you can do whatever you want. You can bring in data from any application using any ETL tool or data pipeline. Bring it into Autonomous Data Warehouse, create a custom data model, whatever you want. However you want the tables to look, it's up to you. And then you can create semantic model extensions. So if you want a subject area available to you end users that has data from, say, Cloud ERP, along with data from Salesforce or Snowflake or historical data from your prior ERP system, but you want it all in nice one subject area. You don't want anyone to worry about the underlying data sources. You can do that by extending the semantic model, and then you can create any reports that you like. So it is fully extensible at every single layer, and it combines, and this is also unique in the cloud industry, it combines these notions of SaaS software. So Fusion Analytics is SaaS software. You provision it. You're not worrying about the hardware and all. It is software as a service. But then you have access to platform as a service to extend as you like. Now, if you bring data in, additional data into Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse, you will pay for the storage, but storage tends to be cheap these days. But some of the common extension use cases, particularly in the services area, first and foremost is EPM, whether it's planning and budgeting or enterprise data management or consolidations. We see that all the time, bringing in EPM data, marrying it up with your cloud ERP data. We've got a lot of pent-up demand for Accounting Hub. That's Oracle's platform that takes transactions and turns them into journal entries. That'll be integrated automatically very soon into Fusion Analytics. And you see these other data sources. And one thing about the services industry, a lot of times the transactions that cause revenue to be generated are not in Oracle. Like take financial services, that's great, whether it's insurance or capital markets or investment banking, those transactions are outside Oracle. Same many times for construction and transportation. Not always, but sometimes. And those transactions have great detail that you want to report on, along with your cloud ERP data, maybe from your general ledger, financials, or what have you. And that's why you can bring it all together into ADW, and you can drill into that transaction detail, that nice, rich transaction detail that maybe was sitting outside of Oracle, but you've brought it into Fusion Analytics. So now you can analyze that data all together. Now, everything in green here means that Oracle has built a connector already. And it's not an esoteric connector where you need to be an IT person and you have to sign on to some command line. What this means is you go into the Fusion Analytics console and you select, let's say, Salesforce, and then you select the tables and the objects in Salesforce that you want to be brought into Fusion Analytics. And that's it. Then that becomes part of Oracle's nightly data pipeline. So it's Oracle's taking this seriously. It's not lip service. Oh, you can bring other data in. They are building the connections to these other platforms. Now, you heard Matt mention machine learning, which is wonderful. It's a great topic, and we're all, I think, a lot smarter about it now that generative AI and ChatGPT is out. So we've all tried ChatGPT. If we have kids, they've tried it, although they shouldn't be using it for their homework, but they've tried it. So machine learning is not going anywhere. It's only going to get deeper and deeper, AI and machine learning. So Oracle's been doing this in Fusion Analytics because remember, they own the platform. They can do whatever they want. So they've embedded machine learning behind the scenes to suggest things to you as you're putting together data sets and you're doing analytics, suggesting visualizations. There's a capability called Explain that can analyze a data set for you and kind of tell you what the anomalies are, what the main attributes are, what the drivers are. You can take any visualization and turn it into English language, which really helps when you're putting together presentation books. You can do some advanced analytics with one click. If you want to do affinity or clusters or outliers, it's one click. And you can take a data set and it'll do it for you. Within Fusion Analytics, within Oracle Analytics Cloud, as a citizen data scientist, as Matt said, there's about 17 different algorithms that you can use to train a model. No programming involved. You could train a machine learning model and apply that to your data set. And of course, if you're a professional data scientist, you could do that with ADW. So there's a lot going on there. Now, if you look here, Fusion Analytics. Why would you go with Fusion Analytics? What are the benefits? Well, right straight away, you could either build from scratch or you could buy and extend. In other words, you could implement, let's say, Fusion ERP Analytics and then begin to extend with everything else you need. You're up and running super quickly, literally a matter of weeks. You're giving your end users KPI reports and dashboards. And the thing that's so different about Fusion Analytics or something you build from scratch, if you build it from scratch, it's static. Unless you enhance it, unless you upgrade it, unless you test it as Oracle's Cloud ERP and SEM, as they evolve, you're going to have to keep testing it. When you go with Fusion Analytics, it's not static. It's continually enhanced. Every quarter, Oracle comes out with new enhancements, new metrics, new reports, new KPIs, new machine learning capabilities, new use cases for machine learning. So it's an evolving platform without you doing anything. which is nice and super different from the, from the on-prem days. All right, so now let's talk about customers, real customers that we have worked with, where we have implemented. What have they chosen to do with Fusion Analytics? Did they implement it out of the box? Did they integrate other data sources? Did they build custom reports? So let's take a look at that. So the first one we're going to talk about is Imagine Communications. They're in the telecommunications business. They're a provider to some of the big outlets. If you wanted to go on the internet, you could see this case study. It's out there published on the Oracle website. So Imagine, and we started this probably a year and a half ago. Imagine was one of the first to really have some ambitious goals around Fusion Analytics. So they had MicroStrategy and they wanted to fully replace MicroStrategy, which isn't always the case. Fusion Analytics can coexist with other platforms, but they said, I want to replace MicroStrategy. And we did. We created about 80 custom reports and dashboards. And remember, a dashboard will have 5, 6, 7, maybe up to 10 different reports or visualizations on it. So fully replaced MicroStrategy for finance and operations, automated integration with planning and budgeting. So we brought the annual budget, we brought the quarterly forecasts in, compared them up to actuals, brought in a ton of historical data. They had EBS beforehand, a ton of historical data that was in an on-prem data warehouse. And we integrated Salesforce and a system called RevPro, as well as a couple of other applications into the autonomous data warehouse. You can see the CIO there had a great comment. They were able to move away 100% from their customized legacy analytics system, which was MicroStrategy. Next, we're going to talk here about a major life insurance company. Now, this is very interesting because if anyone here is from life insurance, you know that LDTI, long duration targeted improvement, is kind of looming out there. And insurance companies are going to have to comply with that starting in 2025. And it really is going to be impactful with respect to data. So this company who uses Cloud ERP and really just General Ledger, frankly, they started talking to us relatively casually. We were just kind of advisors. And they were saying, well, we need a financial data warehouse. We have a bunch of data that's not in Oracle. We've got our General Ledger in Oracle. We need to bring all this data together to support LDTI. And they started talking to us, excuse me, about a variety of cloud data warehouses. And we had that conversation with them, of course. But, we also said, I see that you're on Cloud ERP. Do you want to talk about Fusion Analytics? And we talked to them about Fusion Analytics. And the more they learned about Fusion Analytics, the more they learned about the data pipeline and the ability to extend Fusion Analytics with other data that's not in Oracle, they decided to go with Fusion Analytics, even though up to 80% of their data is not in Fusion Analytics, but that's what they've chosen to build their enterprise data warehouse. So very, very interesting use case. Okay, the next use case, excuse me, a very large supplier of goods and service to the clinical trial industry. So if you want to do a clinical trial and you don't want to worry about procuring everything that you need and making sure it passes regulatory muster and labeling it and shipping it, and you don't want to deal with all the suppliers, you're going to call up this company and you're going to basically say, you deal with it. So that's what this company does. They've been very successful for quite a long time. But they wanted to get to the next level with respect to the customer experience. They wanted to be even better at being able to tell customers where their orders were. And ultimately, they want to give the customers a self-service portal so they can see if a customer gave a big order and maybe had to go out to 5 or 6 different suppliers and get all the goods. They want the customer to go to that portal, but they weren't there yet. So step one was to implement Fusion ERP and SEM Analytics. Again, this was a client who was talking to us, started to talk to us about other platforms. Now, in this case, 80% of their data is in the Oracle Cloud. And it was actually Gartner. They had hired Gartner for just general technology advice. And it was actually Gartner that said to them, hey, 80% of your data is in the Oracle Cloud. If you're not looking at Fusion Analytics, you need to. So we got a call from the client who basically said to us, hey, what's this Fusion Analytics thing? Gartner says I should look at it. And that's really how it happened. So we talked them through Fusion Analytics. they eventually said, we're going to go ahead and implement that. Okay. Now, the last one is a case study about, again, a company that provides both products and services to automation industries. So think like energy, oil and gas, manufacturing. They have some products, but they also have services. They will do construction for you. They will do consulting for you. And they wanted to get better insight into procurement. So they decided to implement Oracle Fusion Analytics, knowing that they've got a vast amount of procurement that does not run through Oracle Procurement Cloud. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. But they said, we're going to do that, and we're going to build an enterprise data warehouse for procurement in Fusion Analytics. So they implemented Fusion Analytics, and they hired us to bring in over 300 non-Oracle procurement data files and 5 years of historical spend data from a legacy data warehouse into the Fusion Analytics data warehouse. And importantly, we had to join that historical data and that non-Oracle data with the data being sourced from Cloud ERP, because they wanted to see supplier trends. Show me supplier spend over the last 5 or 6 years. And I don't care, if the procurement went through Oracle or it went through some non-Oracle system, because they were, having suppliers that were going through multiple different systems. So a great example of building an enterprise data warehouse for procurement on Fusion Analytics. Okay, so now it's a 4-minute demo. It's a very interesting demo. We wanted to show you this. Everything you're going to see is available in Fusion Analytics today. And it's a great representation of some of the trends that you know about have all come together in Fusion Analytics. So we've got machine learning and AI. We have doing queries by your voice. Hey, Google asked me for this. Hey, Oracle asked me for this, ChatGPT kind of thing. And we've got the cross-subject area analytics, where you're able to look at your organization holistically and understand what's happening and take corrective action right away. So this demo was done by Oracle. I'm going to switch over to that right now, and then we'll come back and finish it up. So I'll just go to this demo right now.
I'm Emily Sikowski with the Oracle Analytics team. Today, we're sharing a short demo showing you where Oracle is taking analytics, so you can move beyond asking what happened to predicting the future of your business.
Uh-oh. We have a predicted shortage.
Okay.
Take a look.
It's a classic story. Social reviews turn a product, in this case a scooter, into the hottest thing for the holidays. New demand is great, but with the strain on global supply chains, it also creates challenges.
Oracle, show me total actual and predicted revenue for scooters, but not mopeds for the last 2 years.
That's an impressive spike. If we can meet the demand for the holidays, we'll have a lot of happy customers.
Oracle, also show me a stacked bar chart by product with predicted revenue and profits for this year. Yep, the Ultra is the most profitable.
So what revenue is at risk if we can't execute?
Well, let's see. We've got a lot riding on the Ultra.
It could definitely put us over the top this year.
But what's inventory look like? Oracle, show me orders and inventory for just the Ultra scooter.
Wow, I don't think we can get enough scooters from China in time.
We should go take a closer look.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, see here, back orders and fulfillment lead times have been rising. ML predicts high demand in all scenarios. Let's do this one and solve for 45,000 units at 50% confidence.
Okay, I already know new orders will take months, plus ocean freight is slow and expensive right now. Can you ping Vic?
Okay, hey Vic, the Ultra is selling through the roof.
Hey Sandra, hey Luis. Guess we weren't prepared for this.
Nope, we're gonna miss out on a lot of revenue if we don't get more product.
Well, I might have an idea. Here, let me share. I'm wondering, maybe we could convert other models into Ultras. Check it out. You see, these are the scooters that have a lot of overlapping components. The digital display is really the only thing that's unique. Hey Oracle, Show me current and planned availability for Demons, Electrics, and Ultra products in the US by month.
And where's the inventory?
I gotcha. Right there. Okay, so between Seattle and Memphis, we have an inventory of about 95,000 Demons and Electrics.
Good, that's enough to meet our forecast for all 3 models. So what about the Ultra displays?
Take a look here at my analysis for display suppliers. So Jancorp in Mexico doesn't have the lowest unit cost, but they are solid on delivery time. And just because I can, let's look at their inventory and capacity.
Looks like they can turn around all the displays we need.
Okay, now let's figure out where the people are who can do the conversion. Check it out. Dynamic skills in HCM Cloud. It shows electronic assembly skills in Austin and Phoenix.
But the candidate pool from Recruiting Cloud shows that Austin's much better in case we need to add extra people or shifts.
Let's go with Austin then. Luis, order those displays.
Doing it now. And I'll ping Austin to get the ball rolling on conversion.
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
Let's keep our eyes out for updates.
Talk soon.
Great work.
So that was a quick look at where Oracle is taking analytics. You saw new ways of working with data. You saw machine learning predict shortages and show revenue opportunities. You saw Sandra use her voice to create dashboards and review her entire business in seconds. And you saw Luis take action from his business applications without ever leaving analytics. These innovations give you new ways to work, and they transform data into a resource you can use to predict the future of your business, capitalizing on opportunities you could never have imagined before. And best of all, you don't have to imagine them, because with analytics, you can see them.
Hey, Oracle, show me inventory for helmets.
Thank you, Ken. Sorry about that. I hope everyone enjoyed that demo. We love the way it shows the natural interaction with your data and being able to look across your organization and how different that is than looking at reports and trying to go through Excel sheets and not having a single source of truth and everything that everyone is all familiar with. So very quickly, we've got a quick start offering here at App Associates for Fusion Analytics. We wanted to show this to you so you have a frame of reference of what implementing Fusion Analytics looks like. So our offering here, any one module, let's say Fusion ERP Analytics, let's say, we would implement that in 6 weeks, $58,000, primarily out of the box, 90% or so, 85% out of the box, but we will create about 10 KPIs, 10 reports for you. We'll do training. We'll launch your instance. We'll do knowledge transition. If you want to move up to 2 modules, ERP and SCM, that would be about 8 weeks. Now, having said that, we have had some customers who said, you know what, I love this quick start offering. I want to get out there. I want to get a quick win. And from there, I'm going to tailor the reports and the dashboards as I get user feedback. So that's one approach. We've had other customers like Imagine Communications that said right from the get-go, listen, I'm happy to hear about your quick start offering, but I'm going to be doing something much more expansive from the very beginning. We're going to be bringing in historical data, other data sources, etc. But it just is good to know that it's there. Then one other quick programming note here. If you're going to Oracle Cloud World, I will be doing a joint session, speaker session with the CIO from one of the use cases here, the company that is a supplier to clinical trial companies. So we're going to be talking about the Fusion Analytics implementation at Cloud World. So if you're at Cloud World, hopefully you'll stop by September 20th. Okay. Now we're going to open it up to Q&A. And if you want any more information, please don't hesitate to reach out to Matt at oracle.com, Matt Garibaldi, or myself or Ken. You can see our emails right here. So any questions?
Yeah, Miles, we had a couple
Ken.
in the chat.
Okay.
The first one is Fusion Analytics is a separate product we need to buy from Oracle. Maybe just expound on that a little bit, Miles.
Sure, I could have met. Yes, so Fusion Analytics is a product from Oracle. Every module is sold separately. So Fusion ERP Analytics has its own, what they call SKU. So you would license that. If you want SCM Analytics, you would license that. It is software as a service. Matt, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's like Miles said, it's based on per module. It is separate from your Oracle Cloud application subscription. So just get in touch with your account representative and be happy to explore further for sure.
And then the second question, it has, will FA read the data from OTBI and also from ADW, Automatus Data Warehouse, excuse me.
Yeah. So the short answer is yes, but let me answer it in a couple different ways. So if you look at what OTBI does, OTBI gives you a way to report on data that is sitting in your Oracle Cloud application. And behind the scenes, it's sitting in database tables. So when you're using OTBI, you're running queries against the tables in Oracle Cloud ERP, let's say. I'll just use ERP, it's easy. When you purchase Fusion Analytics, the first thing you do is execute that data pipeline. So the data pipeline takes the data out of those Oracle Cloud ERP tables and it moves it over into ADW. So it's the same data that was that you're viewing in OTBI, but it's brought over to ADW. It's brought over historically over time, and it has a much different user interaction. So it's kind of the same data. Now, if you wanted within Fusion Analytics, so Fusion Analytics uses Oracle Analytics Cloud, and we've had some customers who've wanted this. If you wanted to have a dashboard that combined reporting against the data in Autonomous Data Warehouse, which will have some delay, some latency, because it's a data warehouse, so you're moving the data over. If you wanted a single dashboard that showed real-time reporting against Cloud ERP through OTBI, and then you wanted some other dashboards that were more like analytics, that the data was as of last night or as of 2 hours ago or something like that, you could do that on one dashboard because Fusion Analytics can connect to OTBI and can run OTBI reports right within your Fusion Analytics console. So you can have a combined dashboard, one that's real-time using OTBI, and then one that is your Fusion Analytics Autonomous Data Warehouse data. So hopefully that answered the question. Ken, any more questions?
I don't see any more. I think if you wanted to just ask them and speak to it, I think you can unmute and try that as well. If anybody wants to ask a question that way versus putting it in the chat.
Hi.
Oh, yes. You have a question?
I want to ask about EBS connection. Now our EBS is on-prem, so I'm not sure how Fusion Analytics will be connecting to EBS, or do we have to move EBS data into the Autonomous Data Warehouse first, and based on that we'll be building our dashboard?
So there's a couple of options there, Khaled. Are you using EBS in an ongoing fashion, or are you no longer using EBS and now you're using Cloud ERP? Are you continuing to use EBS?
Yes, we have like a hybrid solution. Some modules are migrated into cloud, but not all modules. For example, we have HCM and the procurement migrated into cloud, but still the financial part, which is the most important part, is still working as EBS.
Okay, you have a couple of options. The most common option, and given what little I know about your use case, the one that I'd probably recommend is to leverage the EBS connector that Oracle has built. So again, you go into Fusion Analytics, you would say what you wanted to pull out of EBS, and you would bring that over into Autonomous Data Warehouse that's part of Fusion Analytics. So you bring that data over, and if you wanted, you could report that in conjunction with your Cloud ERP data, or if you wanted to leave it standalone, you could, but you would see that within Fusion Analytics. That's the most, in the scenario you're describing, that's most common.
Okay, but
you could also connect directly to EBS if you wanted. You could connect Fusion Analytics OAC directly to EBS and report against EBS right straight away if you wanted, but that's a little less common.
Okay, but I didn't find for all Fusion Analytics any agent that will be connecting to on-prem EBS. Our EBS does not have any exposure to the internet. So how can I connect Fusion Analytics to EBS, which is not have access to on-prem?
Oh yeah, I mean, we could take this off, but we could help you with that. As I say, Oracle has an EBS connector. Yes, we would have to deal with firewall issues, but the vast majority of EBS implementations are on-prem, and we could take that offline and help you set that up. You just basically just need to get the firewall stuff correct, and then Fusion Analytics will connect to your EBS database, and you'll see the tables exposed, and then you'll select the tables that you want, and then they'll get pulled into ADW.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Great question and great use case, actually, Colin. Any other questions, Ken or Carla, or from the audience? Okay.
It does look like one more came in through the chat. Can we have Oracle OTM data available in Fusion Analytics?
OTM, Oracle Transportation Management.
Yeah.
Short answer, yes. I don't believe, Matt, there's a pre-built data pipeline right now, but we could certainly,
Yeah, it's on the roadmap right now for the rest of the calendar year, and there'll be announcements at Cloud World as well. But next week at Cloud World, but there's a data augmentation connector for OTM coming, and then over time, OTM is part of the roadmap for pre-built.
Any other questions? Well, everyone, I want to thank you again for joining today. I thought it was a great presentation, and want to really thank Miles and Matt for presenting today as well. So if there aren't any other questions, I hope everybody has a good rest of your day.